I'm the Asia Pacific Sales Director for Alfresco software, and I guess I'm something of an imposter here today. I'm just going to kick things off, make a few preliminary comments, and hand over to my friend and colleague Michael Fraser from Androgogic, our business partner, who's going to take us through the main meat of the proceedings. So without any further ado, I'll sort of get into the agenda. So basically some introduction. Michael's going to take you through some additional slideware. He'll also give a very rapid-fire demonstration of Alfresco itself, and also then leap into Moodle and show the Alfresco integration. And I guess the objective of today is to highlight some of the merits and benefits of the Moodle repository API instantiated through the Alfresco Enterprise ECM platform. And then hopefully we can finish on time with a few questions. Just by way of introduction, I guess one of the basic premises of this session is that if you look at the landscape of repositories for Moodle, to date they've largely been populated by fairly sort of niche, small, specialised repository products that are very narrow in their focus around the educational marketplace. And we think that the time is right for a large-scale enterprise content management platform like Alfresco to get its place in the sun with Moodle. If you look at Alfresco, we are very much a large enterprise ECM system, so we cover the full gamut of enterprise content management, from records management, digital asset management, document management, full business process workflow, collaboration, mobile device integration. It covers the whole gamut of ECM in its full suite. We're available traditionally as an on-premises solution, but more recently we've launched a cloud service. And we can also give people a hybrid model where they can have their content in Alfresco on-premises and also in the cloud. So we believe that we sort of bring to bear industrial strength ECM. And we've been very successful. So we've now got something like 2,300 enterprise customers across some 70-odd countries, many millions of downloads of our Alfresco community, the free version of our product. And we've got a very large customer base and some very large repositories in use across all industries. You know, if you look at Alfresco, we tend to be in many different industries, not just education. So what I'll do is I hand over to Michael. Just make a couple of comments about Androgogic. Alfresco's business model is very much through business partners, so we're not in the business of doing implementations. We create the software, we produce it, we distribute it, and we market it. But the magic herbs and spices comes from companies like Androgogic. Some of you may already be clients in this room. So Androgogic is a specialist education systems integration company. They can basically target and provide capability for all the requirements of educational institutions. They have a great reference architecture, great set of products they can use to populate the requirements of education institutions, great methodologies, very strong hosting capabilities. So they can meet the full suite of the needs of what an educational organisation needs, and we're very happy to have them as a partner. So, Michael, I will hand over to you to do the rest. Thank you.
Thanks, Barry, and thanks for talking so quickly. Hi, everyone. If you've been to some of the other sessions this morning, you'll probably be aware that managing content outside of the LMS with some type of digital repository is generally a good idea and a key component of a modern best practice EdTech architecture, as it addresses a bunch of issues that have been spoken about over and over again: loss of institutional control, duplication, increasing discoverability, etc. And this is Androgogic's architecture, where we strongly recommend something in that bottom right-hand quadrant, to help you out. Now, Androgogic has a wide range of types and sizes of client partners. We did some analysis, if you can see, in our client partners, just under half store their content outside the LMS. However, we drilled down a bit deeper, and we can see that as an organisation starts to move beyond a certain size and their content management problems expand exponentially, the need for an external repository becomes irresistible. I want to just talk very briefly about convergence. I think everyone knows about convergence, a trend where a number of innovative figures in similar areas consolidate into single products over time as they mature. And this is important to note. It's probably something no one else is going to talk about at this conference, because specialist LCMS systems are no longer required for your LMS repository. I think that bears repeating. You no longer need a specialist LCMS for your LMS. Gartner Group from late 2011 have started to observe that feature growth in the broader ECM market and the resulting convergence in the whole content management sector is starting to render niche content management systems such as LCMS is effectively obsolete. And they've been recommending organisations look quite hard at their multiple specialist content management systems, whether they're learning content or other types of content, with a view to consolidation into a single underlying enterprise-wide content management system. And I guess that's the nature of convergence. How many people in this room have still got one of these to manage their calendar today? Okay, so we're going to start looking at Alfresco. The question arises, why Alfresco? Androgogic undertook a review of the LCMS component of our architecture at the start of 2011, about 18 months ago. We evaluated just under a dozen learning content repository options, focusing particularly on the open source market. We've been recommending and implementing or using Aquella for the previous 6 years, but it was clear with the ability of generic ECM players with thousands and thousands of customers moving into the LCMS space that a niche player with only a few hundred customers worldwide was going to get rapidly overtaken no matter how with their current feature set. And in addition, there were some strategic directions such as mobile and cloud computing that we felt were important. And finally, and most importantly, it was open source. So it worked well with Moodle and our strategies there. So it ticked all the right boxes. Now, when I was doing a practice run of this yesterday morning, I realised that I had all that intro we've just done and still 25 minutes worth of demo. So I had what I thought was a great idea, and I recorded videos, and then I sped them up by 50%. So we'll see if that still seems like a good idea when I get done. We're going to look at Alfresco first. Let's see if I can get the cursor over here. See what happens. Okay, what happens is it turns up on my screen. That'll be right. Let's put it over here. Okay, so we're looking through the Alfresco native to begin with, like any repository that sits behind a front-end system. There will be some users who use the full functionality from within the native interface. Logged in, you can use LDAP, Kerberos and so on. Because it's a generic enterprise content management system, you can see that there's a dashboard and a personalised homepage, and I can muck around and remove things I don't like the calendar, because I use Google Calendar, and I can add in things I do like an RSS feed to the Cricket. So, I mean, that's just all by the by. Internally we're finding, this is our internal Alfresco, we're finding it's great. Collaborative online sites are good for document sharing, groups, wikis, blogs, all that sort of stuff. But the main point I wanted to note is that you get this for free. You use Alfresco for your learning content management, and you also have all this other collaborative online sites, cloud-connected content, iPhone, Android apps, document management, records management, all the stuff Barry talked about, plus the LCMS features. Okay, because we're running a bit short of time. Really quick. Gee. Okay. Good service. It's quite cool. As I said, there's wikis, there's discussion boards, etc., etc. What you're interested in is the repository interface. There we go. We just hit the repository interface. And as you can see, it's a folders and files structure. So it's the standard sort of thing that teachers and so on are used to. This is fine for a demo site. What I thought we'd do very quickly is have a look at a production site where we've got Moodle and Alfresco working together. Because you can see it allows for an intuitive structuring of the content by school, by course, by unit, and so on. And I know we've talked briefly about, today there has been talk of, well, that's a flat file structure. And it is a flat file structure, but we've also got metadata, we've got properties, and we'll have a look at those in a moment. But the point about a flat file structure, and the reason that flat file structures are so everywhere and ubiquitous, is because people know how to use them. So if you can combine a flat file structure, intuitive way of dropping your content in with metadata, then you've really got something. Okay, and also you can move your files around and rename them, and it doesn't break their permanent links to Moodle. So educators can work in the way they're used to inside the repository. Now, Alfresco does have a lovely interface too, with previewers for all types of documents, image, sound and video files. I'm just going through some of them over here. I presume this is keeping up with me, rather than the other way around. And this is important because the new repository features released last week in Moodle 2.3. We think we can bring this previewer interface across to the 2.3, so we can show all these lovely sound previewers and all that sort of stuff. And I should thank the guys at Moodle Core here, by the way, for the work done on the repository API for version 2.3. We had a lot of work on our roadmap, redoing the views for searches and symbolic link workarounds and things, and they all vanished when we got the 2.3 roadmap, which was great. So we'll be excited with the final release coming out last week to get home and get working on integrating that and pulling some of those features in. So Alfresco, files and folders and so on. The architecture is totally object-oriented. So everything in Alfresco is a node. And that's important because nodes can have properties, which are metadata fields associated with and stored with them. So those can be dates and times and text and all the rest of it. There's author. There's also tags, tag clouds. So this allows you to very easy end user out of the box taxonomies. So either you pre-populate or you have your users just add extra ones. What else have we got? Versioning happens behind the scenes. So I've just updated the metadata there. You'll see that now this is a new minor release version. It has major and minor versioning built into the box.